stay off the weed. You can stay off the weed, stay off the damn weed, and they don't listen.
When it comes to marriages, the women lose their mind. Your fiancé is going to lose her mind. Your mother-in-law is going to lose her mind. Your mom is going to lose her mind. Several of your sisters and female relatives are going to lose their mind. Go elope. Trust me on that. Go elope. Because basically every female in the family is going to terrorize you guys until it's over. Once it's over, I mean, they'll be upset for a few days, but it'll be over. And then, you cruise along, have a happy marriage, have a happy life.
I'll pass along the message. Thanks, Coach. Congrats on the win.
Trevor, unless he's crazy, is totally on my side. And trust me on this. If Trevor doesn't have the sense to do that, tell him to call me, because, I mean, he needs to do I told all my kids, I'll give you $10,000 extra if you elope. So far, they haven't done it, but I would, too.
I'll have him call you, for sure.
All right.
Here we go. Hey, what is it? Hey, turbo, hey, kid. Hey, what is
Okay, but listen, I still beat both of y'all. I know that.
Jacob was trying to win the thing. You talking about you could. So all these people that feel that bracket, you just trying to beat me and Joe.
That's all that matters. That's the only thing that matters. Okay. You gotta take hold on.
What this man got now? He done got him a crowd or something, Joe. Nah.
And still. What we talking about? And still.
What keep you motivated though? Because people like you don't ever get tired. Tired of what?
Why? Nick Saban retiring? Huh? Nick Saban retiring? What? It's all it is. No.
You quarterbacks, you get all the good looking eyes. What a beautiful woman. Wow, he's AJ doing some things right now. So you're a youngster in Alabama. Start getting the football out and throw it around the backyard.
What we told our guys was let's study that thing and then get busy. Like a homely girl on a honeymoon. Busy. We want to be busy.
I went to Chicago yesterday.
Thank you, brother, go. Oh, no smoke with him. Thank you, brother, go. He's serious. I've been to Charlotte twice. I've been to Raleigh. Wallace. Raleigh. Okay. Close enough. That's how you say it? How you say it again? You for real? But it's spelled R-A-L-E-I-G-H. That's Raleigh. Close enough. Don't worry about it. Yeah, she was nice too, huh?
We can't wait for kickoff, but we got to practice a little bit. I want these guys bouncing around today like a pogo stick on Viagra.
Shut up, texting me this. My team is losing right now. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it.
People talk about how talented they are and what a good team they are. They're consistent. They play well week after week. They didn't win the lottery to win 10 games.
Randy Orton slithering. Watch out. Here's the cover. Who give up yards? We do. Who missed tackles? We do. Who let tight ends run free? That's us. Third and long? Every time. Who can't stop a screen?
Yeah, me too, Jack. Me too, buddy. Me too.
Say the Dallas Cowboys going to the Super Bowl. You smoking dope. You got to be.
And I had to go back and replay this because what the f is she crying for, boy? Bitch must have bet her soul on this game. Then watch this next white lady come up. Boy, she act like somebody killed a pet.
We just won. What's the score? 31-14. Stephen A. Watch him out.
Oh, shit. It's a good sound clip for the season.
Hey, man. How much have you had to drink tonight? Not enough. Not enough? Not enough.
I look at the computer say, George said, fuck T.I., fuck Nelly, fuck 50. I'm like, what do you say fuck me for?
Because I be saying so much about it, especially like on our team, and people love to blame the players so much. They be like, oh, he's just not what he thought he could be. And in my head, I want to tweet out so bad is, when are we going to stop saying it's players instead of saying, or it's coaching, or scheme? Like, why don't the scheme ever suck? Why don't the coaching ever suck? Like, people don't realize that, bro. There be a lot of like, BS that be going into this league. Like, that people don't realize, like, you think I want to be doing the BS? They telling me I got to do it. Like,
overcome another obstacle. So I'm going to support him. I'm going to lift him up. And I'm going to be there for him.
because I see the way he fights. I see the way that he works. And I know who he is as a person, and that's all I have to say to address.
I mean, it's obvious. I mean, we're so far past that, to be honest with you, but that's obvious. I mean, you just want to piss me off going this week.
And I'm like, bro, Cowboys supposed to be playing tonight. What the fuck is going on? I got my hat on, I got my jersey on, I got my forces on, I got my swag on, I done prayed to my Jesus, everything, won't it?
Whoever's going to be there, but, you know, I know for sure I'm not going to win a Super Bowl there, so, yeah.
We're here. DeMarcus Lawrence, welcome to the Seahawks. Thanks for joining us.
Girlfriend grabbed the phone. Got that phone right back. You get your phone, dog. You get your phone, dog. That was the play of the season. Every man at the house was going, get your phone, dog. Get your phone, dog. CeeDee Lamb.
Well, now we look at our 10-day forecast. It's looking a little bit like those Dallas Cowboys is peaking in the 90s.
I really like the Eagles.
Stop saying that. We want the Cowboys to win.
No, I want the Eagles to win.
No, you do not.
Yes, I do. I just want the Eagles to win. I just like the Eagles.
The Eagles on offense are like a good box. It's like they just jam.
I want the Eagles to win.
And then all of a sudden you start creeping in, you make plays and stop saying one. You want the Cowboys to win?
Are your hands on me?
Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts for $15. Brother Chris, it's all about Jalen Hurts because he got a black queen forever, snow bunny never. I like Patrick Mahomes, but he's bunny hopping. I'm going with number one. I'm going with Jalen Hurts. Fly, RBG, Eagles fly. I said fly, RBG, Eagles fly.
Y'all today. Go Birds. About to spank y'all today, too. Enjoy y'all package, though. Take him down. About to lose. Fly, Eagles fly.
Are you going to school tomorrow?
I don't know.
Is he going to school tomorrow?
No, he ain't making it.
That's a bruise. It ain't just no soreness, it's a bruise. We're gonna aggravate it with a gun. I'm gonna talk to that. I graduated exercise science. I'm gonna listen. Damn. You getting your ass out here, you finna block. I ain't blocking. No, you getting your ass out here, we finna block.
I ain't blocking.
Blocking the date.
I'm not blocking.
Hey man, how's it going? You Jake? Yeah. Okay. Hey, so someone called in reference to your Facebook post. The Eagles lost, man. I know. So I don't. I'm fine. The Eagles lost and the dogs are barking. I got you. I got it. You don't let hurt yourself. No, the fucking Jalen Hurts the 3 goddamn turn over 6 times, man. That's right. Yeah. Okay. All right, man. Have reached out. All right, take it easy.
I think it's 2 ways you can actually cut a sandwich. A and B are the 2 ways you can cut it. Choose C or D. You see here.
And he's assisting people down. My man just started throwing babies out the window. We was catching, unlike Aguilar and his mishaps. I like to put that out there.
The MVP front runner. If anybody else got to say something different about that, then come see me. I'm right here in Beemore outside the bank. If you got an issue with that, come see me. I'm about that. Big trust. Woo woo. Lamar Jackson in the flesh.
Took a few more here for Lamar. Mike Jones. Lamar, there was that point in the season where you guys lost 3 straight, 4 or 5.
Mike Jones, that's lit. Mike Jones, that's lit. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's all right.
What the fuck?
Oh my. Oh. What
You bristle it up? Well, just make sure you're not. Because I can bristle up too now. I mean, you ask a question like that, and I'm trying to give you a logical answer.
The season's a lot like a roll of toilet paper. The closer you get to the end, the faster it goes. And so we've got to realize the importance of each football game.
Hey, when you
more product than anybody.
When you and Tim go get to have them, what y'all tell them? Like to the left or the right?
No, I tell them go number 2 all the way up to a fade and just give me a phone call, man. It's a phone call, bro. Number 2. Hey, Paul, what do you tell them?
Hey,
Just a little off the side.
Leave the side. Leave the side.
I always tell them I should leave a little bit on the top.
Oh.
The Bulldogs.
Yeah, Bulldogs.
Not so fast, midget. Not so fast.
Midget?
Yeah, little guy. Hey, not so fast. I go with Harvard. What's the matter?
I'm not laughing about it. You think this is funny? I take it serious. I'm not real serious. I put my heart and soul in it every single week. I'm just telling you right now what I do every single week. Every single week, I put my freaking heart and soul in this. I step my off. I don't go out there and laugh. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's funny to me. I don't want to get embarrassed. I'm on that football fight everybody. That's why I'm asking you. I'll tell you right now. We're talking. Dudes and I are talking. What was the context? I'm done. Sorry. I'm not doing it.
Obviously, y'all saw the context. I went to go to LSU. Ended up going to Mississippi State. 1 game. 1 year out of 6. What do you think that's funny? It's like, please, don't you? Show you what the team about? Hey, how you feel?
I just don't condone the bashing of Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys and have the
Green throws him in a chokehold, rips him back down, and is throwing punches. And no one has any chill at this moment, and they're after it. All Ragnarok is breaking out there in Jacksonville, Bengals and Jags.
All right, tell the camera what you think about life. Like, how do you see life? Sucks, but I'm playing football right now.
And just Smitty's, and then none of them. So I had all the thought process planned out. But anyways, oh, there's Landon.
Clearly, Landon Dickerson, the center, All-American.
Watch this, dude.
Boy, quick.
Oh, I knew how important this was for our team. Our team, chill. I knew how important this was for our team. It's just crazy to me how much music I don't know out here. Like, I know I'm getting old. Like, I listen to all type of music too. I just don't know shit out here. I ain't never heard this song in my life.
I'm big. Yeah.
1 yard.
Go ahead. Bro, y'all need help, bro.
Who told y'all that? Who told y'all that? That's your fault.
I'm going to go to Cancun like everybody expect me to do, and I'm going to enjoy myself because I don't have nothing else to do, so I'll take myself there.
So you don't quit, and you don't quit in sports. You retire. You don't get to quit. It's not an option. See, someone told me a long time ago, that ain't even an option. The person told me that, he ain't here anymore, he died.
I always tell our boys that the most important things in life are faith, family, and football. I don't believe it. You stupid son of a... Run the route again. Fuck you, stupid mother... That is so bad. Are you mentally challenged, son? Or seriously, are you mentally challenged? And if you notice there, I put them in that order for a reason, because the thing that comes first is your faith. Your faith with God is the most important thing in life. You don't get your into gear. We might not win a ball game all season. We'll go 0-12. And everyone in your life is going to hate you, myself included. All right? All right, bow your heads. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we as a coaching staff know that football is just a game. So we want to use this game to build young men of character. Win by any means necessary. So if you're at the bottom of the pile, you see someone's finger, break it. You see that star running back at the bottom of the pile, twist that ankle, get him out of the game. Anything we can do to win this ball game. I don't care if you got to play dirty. I don't care if you got to cheat.
I'm telling you, hey, they're rougher than a pine cone toilet seat. Those guys can really play.
Are you in this game? Let him handle it. Let him handle it. Let him handle it. Let him handle it. Oh, you shut the fuck up. Let him handle it. Don't tell me nothing. You understand me? That's what the fuck you push it on mine. You don't push on mine.
This is what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
We had several opportunities to make plays. We didn't get the plays made. We got to make more plays. It reminded me when I was in the 3rd grade, and it came time to go to the 4th grade in June, and they told me I was almost good enough to go to 4th. You were not. No, I had to go to 3rd. Really, kid? Yeah.
Needed some time to get going, and here comes the... Oh! We almost lost one.
We got another game, man. We got another game, man.
And roll time. Thank you. Roll time. Roll time. Roll time. Roll time.
I hate Tennessee, but the first ball is Tennessee. And I just hate them because they low down, they dirty, they some snitches. And I hate Philip Holman. I hate their colors. I'm not a dog person. I just hate Tennessee, man. Like, I hate Neyland Stadium. Looks like a garbage truck working convention. And I hate all the quarterbacks. I hate Tennessee, man. It reminds me, it's not that orange you can say. I hate Tennessee more than I hate Auburn. I just dislike Auburn. I hate Tennessee. Tennessee's colors is that orange. It's not that orange you can sit with. It's that puke inside of pumpkin orange. And I don't like pumpkins. So I really don't like Tennessee, man. I can't stress that enough, man. And they lose, they sore losers because they're not Alabama, and I hate Tennessee, man.
I mean, his ability to just escape and make plays on the run, I mean, it's just outstanding what I've seen. And just the defensive side of it as well. There's definitely going to be a concern for me going forward if Alabama doesn't get their offensive line straightened out.
Chelsea, that's a great point, because if you look at Alabama's
60 seconds, right? Oh, baby. You know what? I'm still happy.
What is up, y'all? Let's see here. I'm going to start off with motivational video, play some drops in the Touchdown Tribe National Anthem, and then we're going to get into a little bit of the Spurs loss and cover Russell Wilson, Trevon Diggs, and then 10 tragic NFL deaths. And on that is Pat Tillman. And as Mo was saying in the comment section, she said, "Thanks for covering Pat Tillman, who paid the ultimate price. His unit betrayed him because of jealous, period." Yeah, if you read the books from Pat Tillman, it's like everybody should read that. Everybody should be educated on this, because that was just very flawed. It just shows the flaws that happen in the military. But yeah, we're going to get into that because I added the 10 tragic deaths have different various athletes, right? And Pat Tillman is obviously listed on there. But I have another video that I had reacted to before on Pat Tillman, because I don't know, I haven't seen what this is going to say with the 10 tragic NFL deaths. So if it doesn't go too in depth, I have that other video because I really want to make that a focus. But anyways, let's see. Let's start off with the motivational video. It's the one from yesterday. I'm just going to play it again.
Outcomes are a distraction. Focusing on the process of what you have to do to get the outcome is the most important thing you need to do.
I needed to hear it, to be honest with you. It's for me because I find lately I've just been so, like, either too focused on the past or too focused on, like, the future and what's ahead. And I really just need to be reminded that focusing on right now and the process of what I need to do to get better is what needs to be my focus. So I needed that reminder. Hopefully it helped y'all. All right. Now let's go to some drops and then we'll get into the national anthem, Touchdown Tribe National Anthem. All right. We've got Pooh Man, the greatest mod in the YouTube streets. Shout out to you, Pooh Man, as always.
Rolex wearing. Woo! Diamond ring wearing. Woo! Kiss stealing. Woo! Wheeling dealing.
To you, Pooh Man. And we have Pinball in the building. Shout out to you, Pinball. Pinball, I was so sad because I forgot to play your drop the other day. I beat myself up after the live. I was like, man, I did not play Pinball's drop. And it made me so sad because it's like one of my favorite. I have 2 drops for you, okay? So shout out to the CDL gang.
Hey, boy, do it to it.
All right, let's find your other one now. Pinball, here we go. Shout out to you, Pinball. All right, and we have Mech So Cool. Hopefully I said that right. Is it Mech So Cool or is it Meek? Mech or Meek? If you don't know, I'm really bad at pronouncing names. So here, let's play this. Let's play this real quick.
Clap it out, clap it out, clap it out.
I'm really bad at pronouncing names, so hopefully I pronounce your name right. Mech or Meek, let me know. Okay, we have Mo in the building. Oh, and we have A-Team in the building. I haven't got to play A-Team's drop in a while. Let's see. A-Team, shout out to you. Let me scroll down here.
I'm gonna take on the room now. Yeah, A-Team, you tell him.
She said, leave my snow bunny alone now. Shout out to A-Team for coming to my defense. Okay, so we have Mo in the building as well. Oh, wait. Wrong one. I'll get it together one day. All right.
CDT says I'm going live tonight. I slick was thinking about not, but I'm gonna do it. If you need a break, take a break. Shit. Trust me, we understand. You do's a lot, man. But Chelsea Lynn might break out in the hives if you don't. She gonna be stalking you, man, if you don't. So if you don't do it for nothing else, you better do it for the North Carolina.
Shout out to you, your average logical thinker. Make sure y'all are subscribed to A-Team and your average logical thinker. Okay, back to the main screen. Before I forget, there is something, because shout out to you, Shayla. I'm glad that you strolled in here because there was one thing I wanted to get into before I forget. And Shayla let me know, she said in the Discord, if y'all are not on my Discord, Pooh Man dropped the link. Sometimes you have to like refresh the link, so if the link doesn't work, let me know and I can send another one or re-add it. But anyways, Shayla let me know it's official. The Bears are going to move to Indiana, which we kind of already assumed that this was going to be the case because their biggest, like, I think concern was not having enough property. Like, they were having trouble finding the land to support their plans for a stadium, I think. So it's really not surprising to me that this is the route that they're going, but Shayla cracked me up, y'all. She ain't about the BS. She said, okay, hold on. Well, it's official. The Bears announced they are going to Hammond, Indiana, which is really not that far from Chicago. LOL. And yes, I will still watch the Bears. And then she said, these same folks that are throwing their temper tantrums are the same ones who are still going to attend the games in Indiana. They will get over it. That is the truth. They're going to be just fine. They might be mad for a little bit, but they'll have to just get over it because it is what it is. And then shout out to Postman, but he said it was announced they voted on plans to move forward, but even that is not finalized yet. Now I will say, I think it's pretty final. I think they're dead set on moving the stadium because they have talked about it for a while now. They said something about like if they could not get enough property, they were going to move the stadium. And they were still having difficulty with it. And then I think another thing was, Shayla, you had mentioned another issue was like something with like permits and like just different obstacles for them with that in Chicago, I think. So it was just going to be too much of a hassle, I guess. So it makes sense that they're going to move to Indiana, to be honest with you. I think it's a pretty done deal. And then Shayla came back with, it's over for Chicago. That's it, accept the reality. Shayla, like I said, she ain't about the BS. She cracks me up. Word on the street is Coach Chels, in fact, broke out into hives this week because of CDT's absence. Yep. He did go live. He did surprise me. He went live for like 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes on Instagram. And that was enough for me to hear a few beats. But it's still not the same as having his YouTube live streams, everybody in the chat. It's such a vibe, y'all. That's why you gotta subscribe to CDT Beats. He is the music producer for the show, if you didn't know. But, alright, let's see. What else you said? Box Stuffer, aka Mailbox Sports, for those of you who don't know. She said he's in denial. He very well could be in denial. Soldier Field is falling apart. Yeah, that's true. I think that was one where they complained about the field. One of the many stadiums complaining about the field. They want to keep a team playing in a piece of blank field. Yep, that's true. Make that make sense, right? Shayla, make that make sense. All right, another thing I wanted to talk about, and I meant to show y'all what. Let's see if I can't find Stash Cash. I meant to show y'all what Stash Cash had posted. I meant to save it and I didn't. My bad. Let's see. Here we go. I'll have to dim my screen so y'all can probably see it better. But this is what he had posted. That little AI picture of me with the Spurs and my little cowboy hat. I'm like, what the heck is this? It's not even my Spurs, okay, y'all? I'm not even a Spurs fan like that. I just don't want the Knicks to win because of Stephen A. Oh, and let me tell y'all what happened last time. So I was watching the game, and they were behind. It was like a back and forth, but I just seen it going bad for the Spurs. It got to a point, I think it was like in the third quarter or something like that. I was like, yeah, I'm not watching the rest. I'm not watching the rest because I know how this is going to go. They're going to keep it close, and then something's going to happen, and Knicks are going to end up winning. Sure enough, y'all, tell me how that the Spurs lost by 1 point. 1 point. The score was like 104 to 105. 1 point? You mean to tell me you lost by 1 point? Oh, I was mad when I woke up this morning. I was so mad. I was like, I'm glad I didn't stay up and watch the rest of this game because look what happened. They have to, I don't know. It's just feeling like it's over. It's feeling like it's over. If they don't win this next time, like, it's over. But anyways, we'll see what happens. I like Stash Cash. He's so positive. He is. He's a great guy. He's something else, though. He came in my chat. What did he say to me? What were we talking about? We were talking about, I might clip it and post it, to be honest with you, but we were talking about, athletes. Yes, being in relationships with athletes or coaches, and I said, you have to know the risks that come with it, because temptation is part of that risk. Like, temptation to be unfaithful is part of the risk of being with these athletes and coaches who are always on the road, always surrounded by the opposite sex. And then I said, I'm not talking about me, though. Tell me why Stash put in the comment section, he said something like, I'm going to sweep you off your feet, coach, or something crazy like that. I'm like, you ain't sweeping me off my feet making posts like that. Come on now. That ain't happening. But anyways, shout out to Stash. Hammond is only 40 minutes from Chicago. Is right on. Yeah. So it's not that big of a difference. And they're still going to keep the same name. So, or from what I've heard, they're keeping the same name. So it's like, what's really the issue? All right. So that's my little Spurs rant. And let's see. Stash went live earlier. I need to do a rewatch because I'm thinking he probably said something about me in that. So I might do a rewatch of his live from earlier. Okay, so we're going to get into Russell Wilson. Oh, wait, y'all, I still almost, tell me how I have the national anthem on here, and I still almost forgot to play the Touchdown Tribe national anthem. All right, here we go.
On the Star-Spangled Banner, Fergie.
That a flag was still there.
All right, there we go. Now we can go to what's on the agenda. Starting off with this from 4th and South.
So, in other news, Russell Wilson goes to CBS.
I saw that.
I kind of see that coming. I seen that coming.
You think so? So
Yeah.
is it? You think he done? Like, you think his career?
Hey, if I'm him, I think at most they offer him to be a backup quarterback at the Jets. Now, I know he didn't have a good year. I know he didn't have good years, but we're not going to disrespect the man like that, right? Me personally, just ride off into the sunset. UNOCC, retire as a Seahawk and call it a day.
Yeah, I agree with him on that. Just retire as a Seahawk, call it a day. It just didn't work out with you at the Broncos. You did decent at the Steelers, and then obviously didn't work out with the Giants.
You said wrap it up,
bro. Let's wrap it up, bro. Wrap it up.
Man, you think, but you think he's like done? Like you think it's a skill level thing, or you think just people just don't want to deal with him no more? Like his antics, all that comes with.
I think they don't want to deal with him anymore. I've seen a couple of things saying that he had like his own office, at the building, things like that, which I think is kind of. I mean, that's what guys in his regime does. I know Thomas Brady had his own office. When we go in there and talk about ball and work on our bodies, but but another thing, if you're not winning, it plays a whole nother
If
part.
you're not proven that you deserve those things, that plays another part.
They're only gonna tolerate you until they can't.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we spoke about this last week, right? Like where no one could figure out what happened in Denver, right?
True.
And Justin Simmons brought us a little bit closer to the situation, and then here in New York, something very similar took place again, right? Now John Harbaugh comes in, Dayball is out. It's a lot of moving pieces. They take a quarterback, and when they take a quarterback that high, you generally know at that point you're not starting or probably playing ever again. So I think Russell is a guy that knows football. He's gonna be able to go into TV or whatever it is. Very similar to
One
RG.
of two things, right? It can be a situation where they draft a quarterback and it's just for you to develop him, similar to what you've seen with Matthew Stafford and Ty Simpson, or with Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love, right? Where or even you can use Tony Romo and Dak Prescott, where they'll get a quarterback, but it's just for you to start to develop them so then they can be that QB1 eventually. So you have that scenario, but then you also have the scenario like with the Russell Wilson situation where they likely just, drafted Dart because they knew they needed a quarterback and he was done. So
3. And I wonder if he retires though before he actually like commits to anything, or if he's still gonna be
open to playing.
Yeah, because bro, I mean, if I'm honest, I don't know every quarterback on every team, but I think there's a job for Russell Wilson somewhere. Like if I'm honest, like if I'm really honest about it, like and then also a lot happens during the season.
It has to be a situation where it's like a desperate scenario and they are desperate for a quarterback, so then they bring in someone like Russell Wilson.
How many in NFL
injuries?
100% injury rate. So this could be good for him, man, to kind of take some of the pressure off his back, to be ready, perform, compete, say the right things in the media and all this stuff, and actually talk football with other guys and possibly be looking at a job at somewhere in.
Before I forget, let's play Beard Man's drop because y'all know I'm bad to end up not playing drops. I'll let the video play and then I forget all about playing y'all's drops. So let's go ahead. I'm at 259. Okay. Here we go. Shout out to Beard Man. Find your drop here. Shout out to you, Beard Man. Always a vibe with that one. All right. And you also said, I'm still alive. So let's see. I think I have that still. Let me find it. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm trying to find the I'm still alive drop. Y'all, I did add this one. I gotta show you what I added. How rude. I added that one recently. Okay, hold on. Focus, Chelsea. We trying to find I'm still alive. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay. I found it.
I'm still alive!
If you know, you know.
I'm still alive!
Oh, shout out to
walk
who?
straight into TV,
All right, we
bro.
were at 259, right?
Possibly be looking at a job at somewhere in.
And you know what else funny? It's gonna be weird seeing him because he's not known for having a big personality. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be weird seeing him. You know, I want to see how he does. You know, I can't remember him having this like antics before the game where he just playing and he's in a huddle acting like, there's a person that he's throwing there, he's running, he's scrambling. So, I mean, maybe he does have that side. Maybe it will shock everyone, but I'm definitely excited to see what folds for him next in his career in football, outside of football.
Yeah. Do you think that if, like, let's just say Dak Prescott goes down. Sorry, Dak. Oh, damn. I don't like saying shit like that.
Dak?
But
why did he bring up Dak like that?
Yeah.
do you think, I don't like saying, please forgive me. But
so basically you're just saying if a quarterback at a top team gets hurt, right? We ain't gonna say no names. A top team that probably has a shot of probably going to the playoffs, would he receive a call?
Yes.
Man, look
I
at
believe
you
so.
strolling in the building. What's up, D-Money? D-Money, I finally have your added drop. I'm so excited to show you your new drop, okay? Because this is from my friend. I told you about my friend. He was talking about coleslaw. And I was like, are you kidding me? This just keeps following me everywhere. So yeah, I added this for you. So now you have 3 coleslaw drops. Let's see. Here we go.
Listen. I always tell people, listen, if you guys have never been, I didn't realize this was a Carolina thing. I promise we'll get to some sports talk. We got to talk some food, man. Slaw dogs. I don't know if you guys have ever had them. I don't know if it's really big. I don't think it's as big outside of the Carolinas. But a good old-fashioned slaw dog, man, is a hot dog with chili, onions, mustard, and slaw. And we have a place called Rush's, which is right down the road from.
On mine. I like coleslaw. I like the chili. I like the mustard. But I'm not a fan of onions if they're not cooked.
From Jimmy's Mart. Jimmy's Mart is a gas station. But it's one of those places, these old Southern gas stations that have the breakfast and the food spot inside. It's one of those. But I just grew up going there. I used to go there and get breakfast. You get cheese, grits, eggs, all that stuff. But they also had the slaw dogs. But it was crazy because, like, when I got to Alabama, because I was born and raised in South Carolina, I didn't live anywhere else. I was like, man, like, nobody has slaw dogs around here. And I would be asking people, they'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? I think they thought it was just like a hot dog with only slaw. I'm like, no, man, you got to throw everything on it. It's a whole deal. But anyway, I guess it's like a staple to the Carolinas. You got to check it out. Now,
keep in mind the reason why. Okay, so he went off talking about this food, but originally we were talking about, I had brought up how I could remember where I was at when Schoolhouse Rock played the Capitol Hill Bill song. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, you just have to Google it. But we were talking about that because of Nick Saban, and I just said I remember who my teacher was, what classroom I was in, everything. And he was like, well, I don't have a memory like that. And then he starts talking about going after school to get these slaw dogs. And I was like, okay, I'm clipping this because this coleslaw thing keeps following me everywhere. Anyways, there's that one for D-Money. That's your new drop. You have that one. You have this one.
Oh, and can you bring my coleslaw on a separate plate? I hate it when it touches my bread.
And this one.
Well, Scott, on the topic of coleslaw,
we're on television.
Your name is mud in these parts.
I'm
Tell
well
the people
aware.
what your deal is with the coleslaw.
I don't want it on a sandwich. It's not on the sandwich.
You know what? And I don't like, while we're at it, I don't like the stereotype that all white people like coleslaw. Because here's a white person who doesn't like coleslaw. Not every white person likes coleslaw, okay? Not just like there's some black people who do like coleslaw, okay? All right? There's some black people that like coleslaw, and there's some white people who don't like it, okay? So, yeah, I don't like stereotypes.
When you say, don't put it on the sandwich, they go, it comes on the sandwich. And I say, not if you don't put it on the sandwich. And then they look at me like I'm not the one paying for the sandwich. Just don't put it on the sandwich. How hard is this? I'm not being the jerk here. I'm really not.
That's so funny. Okay. Put it on. Okay. It's funny because I'm not the biggest fan of it on my sandwiches or with it touching bread. If I do have it on bread, I have to eat it immediately because I don't like soggy. I don't want my bread to get soggy. Anyways, there's another coleslaw tangent. Yo, I don't even remember where I was at. Okay, I think I was at like 4:05 here. D-Money came strolling in late.
Too, like, I do think this is a good move for Russell Wilson. I think it sets him up for
that stereotype, D-Money. That's not true.
You know, to be able to prove something in the time of the year that matters the most, right? The playoff time, and if he does that, you know, he's well. To me, he's back in the league. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a good play by him and his team. I think it's the right move, and then, you know, he also sets his stuff up to walk off the field whenever that day actually does fulfill itself, to walk straight into TV, bro. Because, you know,
but that's what I think too, though. Like, to say he only got offered a backup quarterback at the Jets, why do people have such negative feelings towards him, though?
Because of how he performed.
Like on the Boondocks, you know what they say? What did he do to make niggas that
How he
mad?
performed. It has nothing to do with anything else other than how he performed. What else? What else would it be?
Like, I don't know. I've always seen him as an elite guy.
Yeah.
Shayla, that's our whole thing. Is D-Money said that black people, I don't know I know that you speak Spanish. I don't know your ethnicity or whatever it's called, but D-Money had said that black people hate coleslaw. And I said, no, I know black people who like coleslaw. And yeah, so I went around asking anybody and everybody if they like coleslaw. And then I didn't ask the video that I showed you all with my friend, I didn't ask him about coleslaw. Keep in mind, I didn't even ask him about coleslaw. He just randomly brought it up. And I was just like, this is good. I told him I was clipping it, but anyways. Yeah, so I'm glad that you like coleslaw though. See, here's another person that likes coleslaw.
He's older, so maybe he cannot scramble as much, which makes sense, right? It's understandable. But does he still have the arm?
I mean, I think so, bro. I mean, look, last season he played 6 games. He completed 69% of his passes off 109 attempts. Well, I'm sorry, 58% of his passes. He had 800 yards, 3 touchdowns. I think he got benched at some part through the season. Jameis Winston came in. And I'm sorry, this is 2020. Yeah, 2025. I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna look, bro.
So here's the thing: he has an arm. That we don't question that. He can still make a pass, right? What's the issue is his accuracy. And he's just not making smart decisions in the pocket like he once did. That's the problem.
You know, the numbers from late days Seattle to now have drastically decreased.
If you Google it, is coleslaw a staple in the black community? Google will tell you yes. Google, and that's not what started it, to be honest. That's not what started it. I don't know. What started it was I said something about me eating coleslaw, and then you were like, black people hate coleslaw. And that's when I said what I said. And then we've just had a back and forth with this coleslaw conversation ever since.
Like we're talking his last year in Seattle, he had 4,200.
Nothing
3,100.
Nothing is wrong with coleslaw. I'm gonna have a live one day. It's not gonna have anything to do with sports. I mean, it will be sports related if I throw in these sports clips of people talking about coleslaw, but we're just gonna have a whole coleslaw conversation.
Then Denver, he went for 35. Then he went for three bands, 2,400. Last year he had 800 yards. Like, it's, you know, I don't know. You know, and
But
him
and I hate sometimes we judge over six games. Now imagine if he would have played a whole season.
Yeah, but we took a first round quarterback. You know, you know, we just waiting for you to mess it up, kind of. You know, so I think that for me, man, just looking at it, he's in the right lane. He's going about it the right way. I do think he could still play the game at a high level. We know that he had you know, a good coaching situation in Seattle that led to a lot of his success, and since then it's kind of been all over the place. So, you know, and it's hard for a guy like that. And look at Aaron Rodgers. We all look at Aaron. We don't, you know, we know what Aaron Rodgers was. We know, but it's also a what can you do for us today type of league. And unfortunately, Aaron Rodgers don't look like the Aaron Rodgers that we know. You know, there's some people, there's some receivers, there's some things out there.
I mean, if you look at what Aaron Rodgers accomplished this past season, he took the Steelers pretty far. So I'm not saying that Aaron Rodgers is bad.
I see people, you know, taking other quarterbacks over Aaron Rodgers, or not wanting to play with that Aaron Rodgers to play with another quarterback, and to me it's crazy.
Oh wait, was he saying
so
was he talking about Aaron Rodgers getting disrespected? If he was, then I agree with that. But if he was saying that if he was comparing Aaron Rodgers to Russell Wilson and saying that Russell Wilson's better than Aaron Rodgers, no, I can't get on board with that. But I think he was saying the other.
It says a lot about the system. Obviously, like you said, you mentioned this too, Father Time.
Undefeated.
But also, I will ask you, we mentioned Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, all of these guys that played in the Brady era. I don't think that there would be one player that would ever say, I wouldn't play with Brady.
Hell no. Hell no. The reason why
that's why he's the best ever.
I've seen it firsthand, and quite frank, when me and you
ever, not for if Russell Wilson, Brady of course, but not Russell Wilson.
When we started became even closer and closer, you had questions about, man, do y'all get together and throw in the summer? I'm like, yeah, we go at the Yankee Stadium out here in Tampa. We get together, go over out. We have a 3-day plan to get our memory fresh back with the plays. You know, our certain signals that we do with him, and come back for camp first day. Hey, it's like we never lost a step.
Yeah.
So honestly, when it comes to those three guys, I don't think anyone is topping TB12.
Yeah.
Because he look, bro. It's been times where I'm on the phone with my mother in the locker room. He grabbed the phone. Hey, mom, I'm taking care of him. I'm keeping him straight.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get people like at that height, that standard with a personality how he has and how he cares for every single person on the team. I'm just being real. Now, I haven't heard that about Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson. I mean, Russell Wilson, I think he did give his guys like an Airbnb card or something like that for Christmas.
Like a house or like a card, like an Airbnb?
Like an Airbnb card, like they can go anywhere and just use a card for Airbnb. I'm just saying.
Man, I don't know damn Airbnb card, bro. Get a nigga a watch. Let me get some golf clubs.
I'm quite sure.
I'm sure he done it over the.
Yeah, he probably have. You know what I'm saying? But you know, people show what they won't show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
so I'm not gonna continue playing the rest of this. But my thoughts on Russell Wilson. It's interesting because I heard that in his statement that he didn't say that he's retiring. There was nothing about retiring in his statement. So it brings up the question, if an opportunity arose, would he take it? I think that's interesting. We'll see what happens. Like if a quarterback goes down and they're desperate, a team's desperate. So, let me slow down. a team is desperate for somebody, they might call on Russell Wilson. So I think it's interesting. All right. To the next one with Trevon Diggs. This guy, he kind of ticks me off, but it popped up on my newsfeed. Shout out to Eric Jordan. I blame Eric Jordan for this, but he popped up on my feed, and I was like, okay, I got to cover this. So we'll see what he says.
What's going on? What's going on, guys? Jada Black here. Salute to everyone that's tuning in. I want to talk about Trevon Diggs. I want to have a very honest conversation about Trevon Diggs.
He's already saying his name wrong. Trevon. It's Trevon. Trevon Diggs. Okay.
Diggs is a current free agent cornerback. He was briefly with the Packers recently after being traded towards the end of the season by the Dallas Cowboys, a situation that he really did not have to leave, but he acted like a complete a-hole during that season.
He did have to leave. Hold on, I gotta go back. Is he talking about that he didn't have to leave the Dallas Cowboys? Because he had to leave.
Salute to everyone that's tuning in. I want to talk about Trevon Diggs. I want to have a very honest conversation about Trevon Diggs. Trevon Diggs is a current free agent cornerback. He was briefly with the Packers recently after being traded towards the end of the season by the Dallas Cowboys, a situation that he really did not have to leave, but he acted like—
I'm already ticked off. I'm already ticked off. Oh man, I'm already mad. Let's see, where are we at? We're only 22 seconds in.
The fuck is this?
Okay.
Michael Parsons got traded.
He did have to leave the Dallas Cowboys because he had 2 ACL injuries. He wasn't performing well. They already had reconstructed his contract. He lost out on money because he chose to seek other physical therapy, other medical help with his ACL, his second ACL injury. So they deducted his pay. It was written in stone. After Michael Parsons left, like, he was not happy. The defense was horrible. So he had to leave. But okay.
Cowboys, a situation that he really did not have to leave, but he acted like a complete a-hole during that season. Also, he was dealing with injuries, but he wanted to be on a team with his friend Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons got traded.
And to be honest, he didn't act like an a-hole. I disagree with him on that. He wanted to be with the Cowboys. He wanted to remain there. He wanted to retire a Cowboy, but things were bad. The defense was terrible. Do you blame him? Even Michael Parsons, when Michael Parsons was still with the Dallas Cowboys, and I have it in my intro clip, but even Michael Parsons himself said, "What's up, Upward? Good to see you." But even Michael Parsons himself, like, whenever he was still with the Dallas Cowboys, said, why doesn't the coaching ever suck? Why doesn't the scheme ever suck? Because do you think I want to be doing the BS? They're telling me I have to go out there and do it. They're giving me the play call. They're telling me I have to do this. So a lot of the Dallas Cowboys defense had many frustrations. So do you blame him? If Trevon Diggs was acting at ASS as he claims, it's understandable because everybody was frustrated with the Dallas defense. This guy's already got me heated.
And the Cowboys made it happen for him because there was a lot of weird things that happened towards the end of the season. His heart wasn't in it. We're going to get into that. But I want to talk about Trevon Diggs, a 27-year-old whose career is damn near over. I'm making this video because I saw the workout videos.
The one that I showed y'all with the coleslaw clip. I asked him, I said, do you think that Trevon will get another deal? And he thinks he can. There's still a talent there. Granted, he's had a lot of issues, but it'll be like a prove it deal sort of thing. But he thinks that he could get another opportunity. So, I don't know.
posted a couple of weeks ago. I looked at the comments, and there was a large sentiment that Trevon Diggs has lost a step. Those knee injuries
That's
have
a lie
cooked him,
too.
and
That's a lie too. Y'all, with the advancements of sports medicine and physical therapy, the ACL injuries are not as bad as what they once were. People recover and they perform well. Look at what Trevon Diggs did this past season. Trevon Diggs had over 1,000 yards, plenty of catches, coming off an ACL injury. So let's not act like these ACL injuries are career ender in today's times. It's very different.
thing is that even with all the knees, being a certain way, if he would have behaved himself and instead of sabotaging himself,
Yeah,
he would.
I've seen Trevon Diggs. I follow Trevon Diggs on Instagram, but he's in the gym, y'all. He's in the gym. He's consistently working. He's acting like this guy's just blowing everything away, and that's not the case. He is still very focused.
Still be on the Dallas Cowboys. They signed him to a huge contract. They wanted it to work, but he did not even try to learn the new defense. Now, again, the defensive coordinator had.
They signed him to a huge contract. Is he talking about with the Cowboys? Because the Cowboys, obviously, he don't know what went down with the Cowboys with that contract. But if he's talking about the Green Bay Packers as well, that wasn't a huge contract either. Either way, it wasn't a huge contract because whenever he went to Green Bay, it was a prove-it deal. And then with Dallas, like I told you all earlier, he chose to seek different medical help for his second ACL injury. And something in his contract said he couldn't do that. So they deducted his pay. He wasn't getting that huge money like, people think, like this guy's thinking.
Last year, I understand, but he didn't even try. His heart wasn't in it, and that's why they let him go late in the year. They just couldn't take it anymore. The guy just clearly did not want to be there, and he's doing everything he can to.
I knew he didn't want to be there, but you got to think none of the defense wanted to be with the Cowboys. They couldn't stand the defensive coordinator. It's been a hot mess for years. So yeah, that's why you've seen DeMarcus Lawrence leave and go to the Seahawks. He said himself in that interview, I know I'm not going to win a Super Bowl there, so we here. And guess what? DeMarcus Lawrence got a Super Bowl with the Seahawks.
Show them that he didn't want to be there. I think he's regretting that choice now because he thought he was going to link back.
It was out of his control. There was nothing he could do. It was just one of those situations where it was over. You can't control that. That's a scenario he can't control.
Up with his buddy Michael Parsons with the Packers, only for the Packers to see him in action and say, yeah, he can't play for us. It wasn't just the defensive coordinator or the defense he was playing in. He's cooked. Those knees are just, he's lost the stuff.
Y'all, that's a lie. Go to Trevon Diggs' Instagram. You can find him working out consistently, staying in the gym, getting after it. The guy's not cooked. I promise you. I've seen it. He's not cooked. He's still I would have to see him on the field, right? But he is still putting in the work. So I'm not acting like he's cooked. And him claiming that his knees aren't working, that is just so foolish.
He's a finesse football player. He hates contact. So you can't really put him at safety because at safety you got to tackle.
Hates contact. I hate that argument. I hate that argument when people throw that. He's a ball hog. He's been that way since Alabama. You go to his Alabama highlights, he was a ball hog. He had a ton of interceptions, fumble recoveries at Alabama. And then you come into the NFL, you see him do the same thing. He was a ball hog. He wanted to get the interceptions over tackles at times. That's what they used him for, and he was great at it. And up until all the BS with the new defensive coordinator. After Dan Quinn left, it really went downhill for Trevon Diggs. But oh man, this is just ticking me off. And then it's funny that he says that he wasn't he doesn't like to tackle or whatever, because there's one highlight I absolutely love. It was a critical third down against the Bengals. Joe Burrow, like, we had to stop them, or Joe Burrow was going to come marching down the field, and we know what Joe Burrow can do. So we had to have a stop on this third down. Guess who was the one who made the tackle? I think he tackled Higgins. Or no, it could have been Chase. I don't know, one of the two. He tackled one of them and got the stop. Got him off the field, and we ended up winning that game. And he wants to try to tell me some BS like this. I ain't buying that.
But with him, I just think it's all mental. I don't think his heart is in it. And he fell into a trap that a lot of these black professional athletes fall into once they get to the NFL or the NBA. They start getting money, they start getting girls, and they tend to become very unfocused. Almost like
that's not true. I do think, of course, it's better to not have that off the field BS going on. But with Trevon Diggs, this has been going on for years with him. Even when he had his best season, he was still having all these baby mamas. So let's not act like the guy can't perform just because he has the baby mama issues. These are athletes. They're able to mentally separate and perform, like you seen with Trevon Diggs when he had the career high interceptions. Oh man, this guy's ticking me off.
like his brother, Trevon Diggs. Trevon Diggs is very unfocused. I will say,
y'all, I can't. I can't with this guy. This guy ticks me off because Trevon Diggs just came off a great season. I know people criticize him just based off the one game against the Seahawks, which we all knew that's how it was going to go anyways with the Seahawks because their defense was incredible, and we knew that the Patriots offense had questions, right? So we already knew what it was going to be. But his season was amazing. Coming off an ACL injury, having the stats that he had, I don't know how many touchdowns. Let's see. I know he had over 1,000 yards, but he was still top ranked for the NFL wide receivers this past season. So, oh man, this guy's ticking me off.
Though he's been more consistent than Trevon. He's a free agent right now, not because of what he couldn't do on the field, but because of just he seems like a very unfocused and unreliable player off the field, but he has been able to show he can play on the field. So it remains to be seen if he's going to get another opportunity before the season starts. But
it's
Trevon,
Trevon,
I don't
y'all.
think
It's
so.
Trevon. It's
Okay.
not Trevon. It's Trevon. But I disagree, And like I said, I asked my friend, he played for Alabama. He actually played with Trevon Diggs. And he said that, he thinks he will get another shot. A couple of teams that I've heard thrown around, the one biggest one, though, is the Commanders. I think the Commanders would be a great fit for him. Going back to Dan Quinn would be the best thing for him. And there was talks about Trevon Diggs going there as well. And I wouldn't be mad at that if both Diggs brothers end up going to the Commanders. I know another team mentioned for Trevon Diggs right now is the Rams. But if Trevon Diggs and Trevon Diggs could play for the Commanders, I think that, I'm not going to lie, I know all the BS that goes on with them off the field, but I think it would be cool to see two brothers on the same team. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But I do think that Trevon will get an opportunity.
There are players who had just got drafted or undrafted into the NFL who probably are a much better player than Trevon at this point. And he can't afford to not have a job. I mean, this guy got 3 kids to take care of.
Okay, this is a pet peeve of mine. I'm just going to go ahead and tell y'all. This is a pet peeve of mine. Acting like these athletes solely rely on the income of their NFL, NBA career. That is such misinformation. Let me tell y'all, these men, most of them are investors. They're invested in other projects. They have other sources of income other than just their football career. They have business deals like sponsors and just different things that they rely on for income. Plus, not to mention just their name alone, name, image, and likeness. They will be fine if they wanted a social media career, right? They don't just solely rely on their athletic career income. So don't act like this guy is broke just because he's not playing, because I promise you that's not the case.
He can't afford to not work. He has to work. But see, this is what happens when you try to sabotage what God has given you, it has blessed you with. Not only your athletic ability, I'm not gonna take that away from you, but you were put in a position that most men dream of. Not only are you playing for a storied franchise in the Dallas Cowboys, even though they're not perfect, but it gives you this contract extension that people didn't think you deserved, but they gave it to you.
That's
and
a
then
lie. We did believe that he deserved the contract extension. He got that contract extension before the ACL injuries. And then once the ACL injuries kept happening, by the time he got the second one and chose to seek other medical attention for that injury, in that contract, it says you have to only use what the Dallas Cowboys resources. So they deducted his pay. Like, they reconstructed his contract. And then that's by the time you knew it was over. Dallas, it was mainly on Dallas for getting Trevon out of there.
You couldn't be teammates with your friend, you sabotaged the situation. And now you're posting these half-hearted workout videos.
That's misinformation right there.
Just looking very disinterested. Very disinterested.
What kind of claim is that? Y'all, I want to see what this guy looks like. I want to see what this guy looks like. You are claiming that someone is disinterested and half-hearted workouts. Okay, well, let's see what you look like. Let's see what you look like, buddy, because if he's out here putting in the work, showing he's still at it, that speaks volumes to his character. Let's see what you about, though.
This is the trap that a lot of these black athletes fall into, and it's unfortunate. And the thing is that I can see if you're a quarterback, you're going to be given a lot of chances. But when you are a defensive back, a cornerback, teams are always going to feel like they can replace you. And with Trevon, I just don't think he cares. Football is a job to him. He doesn't have a passion for it. He's 27, so he was able to get a max contract in his early.
He has a son who's interested in football as well. Like, I promise you, he has a passion for it still. He wants to be on the field. He wants to show his son that he still plays, right? Like, let's not make claims like this. Let me play Derek's drop real quick because Derek came into the building. Shout out to you, Derek. I forgot to play it the other day, and I felt bad. Gotta play Derek's drop. Let's see. Derek.
Leave Chelsea alone. What's wrong with you, G-Hunter? I'm the one who's telling you about your fantasy. Listen. Send me your address so I can send you a rainbow flag. If you want to look like Alicia Keys. That's okay, man. You can't even grow. You can't even grow enough hair. I'm not accustomed to a man wanting to look like a woman. And you too dark to look like her. Why don't you? You know what? You look like a good Jennifer Hudson. That's what you would look like.
That never gets old. It'll never get old. I'm telling you, that lives rent free in my mind for life. All right, let me go back to where we're at here.
27, so he was able to get a max contract in his early to mid 20s. As a matter of fact, let's go over the timeline of his career. 2016, 2017, he began his college career as a wide receiver and returned specialist before successfully transitioned to cornerback full-time at the University of Alabama. 2018, he saw his junior year cut short after just 6 games due to a broken foot injury situation started in college. In 2019, he earned first-team All-SEC honors after recording 37 tackles, 3 interceptions.
Alabama, y'all.
For touchdown and 8 pass breakups. Now, his NFL career. He was drafted in 2020 in the 2nd round by the Dallas Cowboys. He started 11 games and recorded 3 interceptions and 58 tackles. 2021, he had a historic breakout season, leading the NFL in 11 interceptions, tying the Cowboys single-season franchise record, named first-team All-Pro, and earned his first Pro Bowl selection. That's the season that got him paid. In 2022, he secured his 2nd consecutive Pro Bowl nod, starting all 17 games, registering 59 tackles, 14 pass breakups, and 3 interceptions. Now, in July of 2023, he signed a 5-year, $97 million contract extension with the Cowboys. But in September Just a couple of months later, he suffered a torn ACL in his left knee during a team practice, forcing him to miss the remainder of the 2023 season after just 2 games. Now, in 2024, he returned to the field but played limited games. In late 2025, he was released by the Dallas Cowboys.
ACL injury. He had 2 ACL injuries. I don't think he mentioned the other one.
Cowboys ahead of the final week of the regular season because he was being a dickhead. 2026 postseason, he was signed with the Green Bay Packers, but only appeared for one snap during the playoffs. He was subsequently released and became a free agent, and that's pretty much it. And by the way, Michael Parsons plays for the Green Bay Packers, and that couldn't save him because they looked at him and said he don't got it.
Okay, so let me just clarify. That's not why Green Bay got rid of him. Green Bay needed the cap space. They couldn't waste money. Like they needed to release him. It's unfortunate that had to happen, but they couldn't keep him. It had nothing to do with performance. Because the guy only got to play 2 games before the season even ended. So they really didn't have a chance to see his talent, but they just knew they had to get rid of somebody because they had to get more personnel in. And unfortunately, it had to be Trevon Diggs.
Physically. And the thing is that even with him physically not being there, he would still be on the Cowboys roster right now. I believe they would have given him 1 more year. They would have written off this year. So okay,
the Cowboys would not have given him another year because they were already having issues with. I'm telling you, that Dallas defense had so much animosity between all the players, the coaches. It was mainly the coaches versus the defense, to be honest with you. And many of them wanted out, like I said.
Different defense, physically, maybe he needs to get 100%. Once he gets 100%, then we can see what's going on. But he did not trust the process at all because he doesn't care about football. And when you don't care about something, people can see through it. The Packers saw it. That's why they released him.
That's not why the Packers released him.
Because they could see it. The Green Bay Packers have good coaches. They could see it. They could
How
see
could they see
that
it based off like 2 games at the end of the season? Barely time to even showcase your talent. You need more than 2 games to showcase your talent. It's similar to like what you get with therapy. You need more than 1 therapy session to really see progress. Same with football.
He did not care about football. He cared about the things that come with football, unfortunately, which is what it's a trap that these black athletes fall into every single time. Zion Williamson fell into that trap. Now he's trying to, claw his way out of that situation. He's been trying this year, getting the weight down, effort on the court, but you see promising players fall short of their potential due to the fact that they fall into the trap of dealing with heifers off the field. Let's get into some more of his antics and issues, right? Diggs chose to rehab his knee and ACL injuries away from the team facilities. He violated team policy and resulted in a $500,000 salary reduction. He spent nearly 2 months, now this is in 2025, 2 months on injury reserve after suffering a concussion from an at-home accident, which he later clarified was caused by a TV mounted pole falling on his head. That is weird. That is a weird injury to get from that. The team initially handled his absence with skepticism due to ongoing disagreements about the health of his knees. The final straw occurred on Christmas Day of 2025. Following a win against the Washington Commanders near his hometown, Diggs asked to remain in the area with his family. The coaching staff denied the request to ensure adherence to team travel protocol, but Diggs stayed back anyway, choosing to attend a friend's concert.
There was already tension between the coaches and the defense. It wasn't just Trevon Diggs. There was other players who had this issue with the coaches as well.
Instead, so he didn't want to just be around family. He wanted to go to that concert. Again, he was being a dickhead. He did not want to listen because he did not care anymore. He wanted them to release him. This is how stupid this guy was. Throughout the 2025 season, Diggs frequently missed.
He made it to Alabama, played for the University of Alabama, got championships, and went to the Dallas Cowboys and had career high stats for the most interceptions. Yet this guy's not smart. This guy, man, he ticks me off. give credit where credit's due. Like, I'm not saying Trevon Diggs is perfect, right? He's definitely flawed. But at least give credit where credit's due.
Or showed up late to team meetings, publicly questioned coaches regarding defensive schemes, and struggled to maintain strong relationships with the coaching staff.
It was all of them. You seen the clip from my intro where Micah Parsons himself was questioning it. It was everybody on the defense. That's why DeMarcus Lawrence left. DeMarcus Lawrence said himself, I know I'm not going to win a Super Bowl here, so we here. And he won a Super Bowl with the Seahawks. Oh, man.
In front office. Talk about a self-sabotage. This dude sabotaged his own career. He sabotaged his own career. And now he's putting up these half-hearted workout videos where he's so disengaged. But he needs the money because he got kids to take care of.
Claiming that he's so disengaged while he's in the gym working out is crazy to me. He's working out, he's putting in the effort, and you're acting like that's nothing. He's showing something. He's obviously showing that he still cares, or else he wouldn't be in the gym at all. Oh, man, that ticks me off. And then, again, acting like that these players solely rely on the income of their athletic career is untrue. Because these guys are invested in other projects, and they are more educated on making better business decisions these days than what athletes were in the past. So they're a lot smarter with their money. So acting like this guy absolutely has to have this income is ridiculous.
That he had kids by, the Yasmin Lopez, the Joy Chavis, they're going to want their bread.
He didn't mention Trayvon's other baby mama with Aiden. Many people don't know about her, but I do, because I'm nosy, and I was able to dig and search and find that the baby mama for Aiden Diggs is Sierra. It's funny, because he had this kid whenever he was at Alabama, but with Sierra, whenever Joy got pregnant with their daughter, Sierra made a post. And the post said, and another thing, don't let these baby daddies make you baby mama number like 3,628, some crazy number, right? I laughed so hard at that, but it was right after Joy announced that she was pregnant. But Sierra and Yasmin Lopez, they're close. They're friends. So the first two baby mamas are friends, but the third one, they don't like Joy, I guess.
And he's going to need to work to provide. So the same thing goes with Trevon Diggs. This dude had a staff full of heifers. And he had a chief of staff. I mean, chief of staff of what? But this dude, they surround themselves with a harem of women because it's about women and fame. It's not about the art, the passion. It's all about going out there and getting women. Yeah, making money. But the thing is about the NFL, man, if they find out that you don't care, they're going to get rid of you. They want football to be your number one priority. Outside of family, they want football to be your number one priority. And if football isn't your number one priority, they're going to get rid of you. That's just how it is. And now he's jobless. And
he's jobless. This guy's crazy. Trevon has other business investments, y'all. He also has his name, image, and likeness where he gets deals from the social media accounts that he has. So let's not act like this guy solely relies on the income of his athletic career, because that's certainly not the case these days for these athletes. They're more educated. Like I said, they're more educated. They have other business investments. They have their name, image, and likeness that they use to make money. So to act like this guy is going to be broke without his athletic career is just insane to me.
Money. So let me know in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share it. Follow me on all my social media platforms.
This guy gets on my nerves.
And I will see y'all.
I'm not gonna lie, he gets on my nerves, but I played that video. What's up, Juice Drops? Let's play your drop. Good to see you in the building. Let's see here.
Everyone wave goodbye to Juice Box. Literally wave. Do it. Here's two.
Okay. Guys.
Shout out to you. Okay, now we can get into the 10 tragic deaths in the NFL.
24 years old, in the prime of his life, one of the most talented safeties the NFL had ever
Is this
seen.
how y'all think I sound? Do y'all think I sound like this guy? I'm like, man, why does this guy sound so southern?
And on a November night in Miami, Sean Taylor lay in his own home, bleeding from a gunshot wound to his leg, with his 18-month-old daughter sleeping in another room. He fought for his life for 2 days, and then
Man,
he
that
was
one
gone.
was a difficult one. With the daughter, I think she ended up playing, I don't know for sure. She ended up playing volleyball maybe for like the University of North Carolina, I think. But that one was a difficult one.
Killed by intruders who broke into his house thinking no one was home. That moment changed everything, not just for his family, not just for his team, but for everyone who understood that football, for all its violence and glory, is just a game, and life can be taken in an instant. Sean Taylor is not the only name on this list. He is one of 10. 10 men whose deaths were so sudden, so shocking, so devastating that they forced the entire football world to stop and remember that the players we watch are not superheroes. They are human. Some of these men died in accidents that could have happened to anyone. Some died as heroes, sacrificing themselves to save others.
They really needed a different AI voice for this one, I think. I don't know.
Some took their own lives after years of brain damage caused by the very game that made them famous. And some were taken by violence that had nothing to do with football at all. These stories are not easy to tell, but they need to be told because these men deserve to be remembered, not just for how they died, but for how they lived. These are 10 tragic deaths that shook the NFL forever. We begin with the only player in NFL history to die during a game, Chuck Hughes. October 24th, 1971, the Detroit Lions at the Chicago Bears, Tiger Stadium, a crisp fall afternoon. The Lions were losing, the game was nearly over, and in the final minutes, wide receiver Chuck Hughes ran a route, came back to the huddle, and suddenly collapsed. Teammates thought he had been hit. The referees looked for a flag, but there was no contact, no defender near him. Chuck Hughes had simply fallen to the ground. Medical staff rushed onto the field. They performed CPR right there on the turf, while players from both teams stood frozen, watching in horror.
Man, that's giving me PTSD thinking about what happened to Damar Hamlin. Like, that game was crazy. What were they playing? Were the Buffalo Bills playing the Bengals? I think that game. That was just crazy to see. I've never seen nothing like that.
Took him to the hospital, but it was too late. Chuck Hughes was pronounced dead from a massive heart attack caused by undiagnosed coronary artery disease.
Wow. That's sad. You know, there's those rare athletes where these different heart conditions go undiagnosed, and that's the result. That's why they have these and this is what Damar Hamlin advocates for now, is bringing these devices. I can't remember the name of the device, it's slipping my mind right now, but these devices to help with these heart conditions if a athlete was to collapse.
28 years old, he had a family history of heart disease that was never detected during team physicals. His wife was watching the game on television. She saw him collapse, she saw the ambulance, and she knew. Chuck Hughes' death led to immediate changes in how the NFL screens players for heart conditions. Defibrillators became standard equipment on every sideline.
That's what it was, the defibrillators. That's what I think Damar Hamlin advocates for these high schools, colleges, I mean, most college programs and NFL has it, but it's the high schools that you really have to have these devices in now.
Cardiac screenings became mandatory for all players entering the league. Hughes died doing what he loved, playing football in front of thousands of fans, but his death forced the league to confront a reality it had ignored for decades. Players could die during games from causes that had nothing to do with the violence of the sport itself. His number 85 has never been officially retired by the Lions, but no player has worn it since.
That's great. Why doesn't the Lions just retire the number? They should retire the number, I think. That's crazy that they don't. You know, I read a sports book. I've talked about this book before, but it's like the world's best sports articles ever written. And one of the articles was about a high school kid who lost his life because of one of these heart conditions, and they didn't have the defibrillators there at the high school. And then after his death, like, his parents and the community advocated for these devices, and that's another one who raises awareness and has a foundation dedicated to that.
Every time a player collapses on the field today, every time medical staff sprint onto the turf with a defibrillator, Chuck Hughes is the reason those protocols exist. Number 9, Jerome Brown, a 6'2", 300-pound defensive tackle who was one of the most dominant interior linemen of his era. Brown was selected 9th overall in the 1987 draft by the Philadelphia Eagles and immediately became a cornerstone of Buddy Ryan's aggressive attacking defense. 2-time Pro Bowler, a leader who set the tone.
Then, but I heard that the Eagles defense was nothing to be played with back in the day.
In practice and in games, players feared lining up across from him. On June 25, 1992, Jerome Brown was driving his Corvette on a wet road in his hometown of Brooksville, Florida. His 12-year-old nephew Gus was in the passenger seat. The car hydroplaned, lost control, and crashed into a utility pole. Both Jerome Brown and his nephew Gus were killed instantly. He was 27 years old.
That's sad. The 12-year-old nephew passed away too.
In what should have been the prime of his career. The Eagles were devastated. His teammate Reggie White, one of his closest friends, spoke at his funeral and called Brown one of the greatest players and people he had ever known. The Eagles retired his number 99. A generation of Philadelphia fans still remember exactly where they were when they heard the news. Jerome Brown's death was not caused by football. It was a car accident on a rainy day, a moment of lost control that took a young man in his prime and shattered everyone who knew him. The Eagles wore his number 99 on their helmets for the entire 1992 season, and to this day, his legacy lives in Philadelphia as a reminder of what could have been. Number 8, Derek Thomas. If you watched football in the 1990s, you knew this name. 9-time Pro Bowler, 7-time first-team All-Pro, the Kansas City Chiefs' all-time sack leader with 126.5 career sacks. A man who once sacked Seattle Seahawks quarterback Dave Krieg 7 times in a single game, a record that still stands. On January 23, 2000, Thomas was driving on Interstate 435 near Kansas City when his Chevrolet Suburban hit a patch of ice and flipped multiple times.
Y'all, this
Thomas was not wearing
anxiety. I already have really bad driving anxiety, but this, like, oh man, it's like those uncontrollable circumstances, like hydroplaning and ice. You know, I'm from the country, but even when it snows, you can ask my dad. I act like I'm from Florida. I won't drive. I won't go nowhere. I'm too scared. But all these other people are out here in this mess.
Kansas City held its breath, and then on February, and this death changed how the NFL approaches player safety and returned for another practice. The temperature was 91 degrees. The heat index, factoring in humidity, was over 110 degrees. Stringer participated in the practice, and then he collapsed. His body temperature reached 108.8 degrees. He was suffering from exertional heat stroke, a life-threatening condition caused by the body's inability to cool itself during intense physical activity in extreme heat. He was rushed to the hospital. Doctors packed his body in ice, trying desperately to lower his core temperature, but the damage was already done. His organs were failing. At 1:13 a.m. on August 2, 2001, Corey Stringer died. He was 27 years old. He left behind a wife and a 3-year-old son. His death led to immediate and sweeping changes across the NFL. Mandatory hydration protocols were implemented. Limits on practice intensity in extreme heat became standard. Athletic trainers were required at every practice. Cold water immersion tubs became mandatory equipment on every sideline. The Corey Stringer Institute was established at the University of Connecticut to study and prevent heat-related deaths in athletes. Corey Stringer's death was preventable, and the NFL knows it. That is why his legacy is written into every heat safety rule the league follows today. Every time a coach limits practice in the heat, every time a player is submerged in a cold tub, Corey Stringer is the reason those protocols exist.
Number 6, and this is the most recent death on this list, Dwayne Haskins. 15th overall pick in the 2019 NFL Draft by Washington, Haskins came out of Ohio State as a Heisman Trophy finalist and one of the most highly touted quarterback prospects in the country. His NFL career did not go as planned. He struggled with consistency, decision-making,
This one's sad.
and off-field maturity. Washington released him after 2 seasons. He signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2021, hoping for a fresh start, a chance to rebuild his career under veteran quarterback Ben Roethlisberger and coach Mike Tomlin. On the morning of April 9, 2022, Haskins was in South Florida training with Steelers teammates during the offseason. He was walking on Interstate 595 near Fort Lauderdale when he was struck and killed by a dump truck. He was 24 years old. The circumstances surrounding why he was on the highway are still unclear and were the subject of investigation. Reports indicated his car had run out of gas and he was attempting to cross the highway to get help. The Steelers organization, his teammates, and the entire football community mourned his loss. Mike Tomlin released a statement calling Haskins a young man with a world of potential. Dwayne Haskins was just beginning to turn his life and career around. He had a daughter. He had dreams of redemption, of proving that he belonged in the NFL. And in a single moment on a Florida highway, all of it was gone. His death was a reminder that life does not care about second chances or redemption arcs. It can end at any moment, without warning, without fairness.
Number 5, and this is the story of a man who died a hero. Joe Delaney, running back for the Kansas City Chiefs. In 1981, his rookie season, Delaney rushed for 1,201 yards and was named AFC Rookie of the Year. He was electric, fast, explosive, elusive, the future of the Chiefs' offense and one of the most exciting young players in football. On June 29, 1983, Delaney was at Chenet Park in Monroe, Louisiana, near his hometown. 3 children were playing near a pond. They waded into the water and quickly found themselves in trouble, unable to swim and struggling in deep water that was over their heads. Joe Delaney heard the screams. He did not hesitate. Despite not knowing how to swim himself, Delaney jumped into the water to try to save them. He managed to push one child towards safety, giving that child a chance to survive, but the weight of the other 2 children, both of whom were panicking and grabbing onto him, and his own inability to swim, dragged him under. Joe Delaney drowned trying to save those children. He was 24 years old. 1 child survived, 2 children and Joe Delaney died in that pond. President Ronald Reagan honored Delaney posthumously with the Presidential Citizens Medal. The Chiefs retired his number 37. A statue of Delaney stands outside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Joe Delaney did not die because of football. He died because he saw children in danger and refused to stand by and do nothing. He sacrificed his own life trying to save people he did not know.
Y'all know I'm a crier. That Anything with kids, I'm telling you, anything with kids. Like the fact that he sacrificed his life to save those kids. Or, you know, to at least try to save those kids. Like, that's incredible.
Is heroism in its purest, most selfless form, and his legacy will live forever in Kansas City and beyond. Number 4, Dave Doerson, 4-time Pro Bowl safety, 2-time Super Bowl champion with the Chicago Bears in 1985 and the New York Giants in 1990. After retiring from football, Doerson became a successful businessman, serving on the board of multiple companies. But he began experiencing symptoms that terrified him. Memory loss, confusion, mood swings, severe depression, blinding headaches. Doerson had spent 11 years absorbing violent hits in the NFL, and he believed his brain had been damaged by those hits. On February 17, 2011, Dave Doerson sent text messages to his ex-wife and family members asking that his brain be donated to research. Then he went into his home, placed a gun against his chest, and pulled the trigger. He did not shoot himself in the head. He deliberately shot himself in the chest so that his brain could be preserved and studied. He was 50 years old.
I remember
Researchers
that story.
at Boston University's Center for the Study of Traumatic Encephalopathy examined his brain and found clear evidence of chronic traumatic encephalopathy,
Remember, y'all,
or
I told you, you can't diagnose CTE unless there's a death. A death has to occur for you to be able to diagnose someone with CTE. And that's why he purposely chose to delete himself in the heart rather than the head so his brain could be studied. That's tragic.
CTE, a degenerative brain disease caused by repeated head trauma. Doerson's death became one of the most important and tragic moments in the fight to expose the NFL's concussion crisis. He gave his brain to science in the most final way possible, and what researchers found in his brain tissue has helped change football forever, leading to new rules, new protocols, and a greater understanding of the long-term damage caused by playing this game. Number 3, Junior Seau. And this is the death that forced the NFL to confront what it had been denying for decades. Seau played 20 seasons in the NFL, almost all of them with the San Diego Chargers. 12 Pro Bowls, 6-time first-team All-Pro, one of the most beloved linebackers in the history of professional football, a man whose energy, passion, and leadership defined an entire franchise for 2 decades. After retiring in 2010, Seau struggled. Friends noticed changes, family members saw differences in his behavior, mood swings, insomnia, irritability, depression that seemed to come out of nowhere. On May 2, 2012, Junior Seau shot himself in the chest at his home in Oceanside, California. Like Dave Doerson before him, he did not shoot himself in the head. He shot himself in the chest. He was 43 years old. His family donated his brain to the National Institutes of Health. Researchers found evidence of CTE throughout his brain tissue. Junior Seau had spent 2 decades absorbing hits, making tackles, and leading one of the most physical defenses in football, and those hits had destroyed his brain. His death became a turning point in how the public viewed football. The NFL could no longer deny the connection between the sport and long-term brain damage. Lawsuits followed, a massive settlement followed, rule changes designed to limit head contact followed, but none of it brought Junior Seau back. His legacy is complicated. He was one of the greatest to ever play, and the game he loved killed him. Number 2, Pat Tillman, and this is the story that transcends football entirely.
Hold on, y'all.
Tillman was a safety for the Arizona Cardinals.
I was hoping Pat Tillman would be 1. I wonder who they have at 1 now. I was hoping that Pat Tillman would be 1. We'll see who they put at 1, but I was hoping it was Pat Tillman.
An undersized overachiever who was told he was too small to play in the NFL and then became one of the hardest hitters in the league. In May of 2000, Tillman turned down a multi-million-dollar contract offer from the Cardinals to enlist in the United States Army following the September 11th terrorist attacks. He walked away from guaranteed millions in a football career to serve his country. Tillman and his brother Kevin.
He was a lineman. He played lineman at Arizona State, but he entered into the NFL, and then they switched him over to safety. So he played safety whenever he got to the NFL. And I think he played like 10 games.
Both enlisted. Tillman completed Army Ranger School, one of the most difficult training programs in the military. He was deployed to Iraq in 2003 and then to Afghanistan in 2004. On April 22, 2004, during a mission in the mountains near the Afghan-Pakistan border, Pat Tillman was killed. The initial military report stated he was killed by enemy fire during an ambush. He was honored as a hero who died fighting the enemy. A Silver Star and Purple Heart were awarded.
Let's see if they get into like all the other BS. We'll see if they get into it.
Truth
okay, here
was
we go.
different. Pat Tillman was killed by friendly fire. He was shot multiple times by members of his own unit in a case of mistaken identity during a chaotic firefight in a canyon. The Army initially covered up the circumstances of his death, providing false information to his family and the public. His family, led by his mother, Mary Tillman,
You already know, Mo.
fought for years to uncover the truth, demanding investigations and accountability. Pat Tillman gave up millions of dollars in a football career to serve his country, and he died because of a tragic mistake that the United States military tried to hide. He was 27 years old.
We're going to get more into Pat Tillman. There's more I want to talk about with Pat Tillman. I'm going to let this finish, but I have another video I'm going to play on Pat Tillman, and then I'll discuss my thoughts on it. Because I'm telling you that it ticks me off, and there's so many stories like this with the military, and it's unfortunate. It's a, you know how I talk about how it's a dirty business with the NFL? Well, it's a dirty business with the military too.
Retired his number 40. His legacy is sacrifice, service, and a painful reminder of the complexity and cost of war. Number 1, Sean Taylor. And this is the death that still haunts the NFL. Taylor was a safety for Washington, selected 5th overall in the 2004 NFL Draft out of the University of Miami, 2-time Pro Bowler, one of the most physically gifted and instinctive defensive players the league had ever seen. Coaches said he had a sixth sense for where the ball was going. Quarterbacks feared throwing in his direction. On November 25, 2007, intruders broke into Taylor's home.
I would have put this one at 2, but this one is a good one. And his daughter, like I said, I believe his daughter now plays for the University of North Carolina playing volleyball.
Meadow Bay area of Miami while he was there recovering from a knee injury. Taylor was in the house with his girlfriend, Jackie Garcia, and their 18-month-old daughter, also named Jackie. The intruders did not know anyone was home. They thought the house would be empty. Taylor heard them. He grabbed a machete he kept near his bed and confronted them. One of the intruders, 17-year-old Eric Rivera Jr., fired a single gunshot. The bullet struck Taylor in the upper thigh, severing his femoral artery. Taylor was rushed to Jackson Memorial Hospital. Doctors worked desperately to save his life. He had lost massive amounts of blood. His family flew to Miami. His teammates prayed. The entire football world waited. On November 27, 2007, Sean Taylor died. He was 24 years old. The investigation revealed the break-in was not random. One of the men involved, Venja Hunte, had previously done work for Taylor's family and knew the layout of the house. They thought Taylor would be in Washington with the team. They were wrong. Sean Taylor died protecting his family, his girlfriend, his daughter. Washington retired his number 21.
And I
Over
think his
10,000
daughter,
people.
y'all, his daughter, shouts his daughter, I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, his daughter wears that number at the University of North Carolina playing volleyball.
Attended his funeral. His daughter was too young to remember him. Sean Taylor's death was not caused by football, but it is forever part of football history, because we never got to see what he could have become. We never got to see him in his prime. We never got to see if he would have been a Hall of Famer, which everyone who watched him believed he would. All we have are memories of a player who was taken far too soon. 10 men, 10 lives that ended too soon. Some died in accidents, some in acts of heroism. Some took their own lives after years of brain damage inflicted by the game they loved, and some were victims of violence that had nothing to do with football at all.
Y'all, I was
deaths
right.
are
Okay,
not.
so I'll try to show you my phone screen. I'll show you the daughter. But this is his daughter. She plays for the University of North Carolina playing volleyball. I don't know if you can see my screen, but that's her. Crazy.
Entertainment. They are tragedies. Reminders that the men who wear helmets and pads are human beings, fathers, sons, brothers, heroes, and their lives matter far more than any game. If this video meant something to you, please subscribe, share it with someone who loves football, and most importantly,
So I wanted to go back to Pat Tillman. Here's what Aaron Rodgers had to say on Pat Tillman.
Pat Tillman left the NFL to join the Army. His death is very...
Expand this so y'all can see it better. Let's see. There we go.
Suspicious as well. Not the fact we know that he was... Pat Tillman left the NFL to join the Army. His death is very suspicious as well. Not the fact we know that he was killed by friendly fire, but the way they handled his body afterwards, his uniform, confiscating his last journal, using his death to prop up the war.
Like that. Like, why did you need to confiscate his journal? Unless you're trying to cover something up. And then we'll get to it.
I didn't even know that about Tillman's journal. So that was confiscated by the...
His uniform was burned.
His uniform was burned? Why would you have to burn the uniform? That's crazy to me.
Journal was confiscated, left a multi-million-dollar contract to go fight Taliban. Gets over there and is like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm guarding these poppy fields. This is not what I signed up for. I miss my wife. And then some really negligent maneuvers happened and split up his unit, and he ended up being with one of the members of the Afghani army who was their kind of guide. Saw the guy in some dim lighting on the ridge. It was with Pat. They fired on him. Obviously, Pat, the Afghani, thought that they were getting fired on by Taliban, so fired back, and ended up Pat got killed. His brother was not told right away that it was friendly fire.
And his brother, keep in mind, I don't know if Aaron Rodgers mentions this in the video, but keep in mind, his brother was behind him. Like, his brother didn't have view of what was going on, but his brother was, like, in the same, like, unit. I don't know the specifics of it, but, like, his brother was right there behind him. Like, couldn't visibly see what was going on, but was right behind him when all this went down. It's crazy to me.
I know the books I've ever cried reading. Pat Tillman left the NFL.
I think everyone needs to read the book on Pat Tillman. I think everybody needs to be educated on what goes down with the military, because it's not talked about enough. Like, I'm telling you, when there's cover-ups, like, I think Mo said it earlier about her friend. Let's see. Let me find your message, Mo. The military covers up a lot of stuff. I have a friend that was shot when deployed, and it's nowhere in his record. Now, see, here's something crazy. So there's this one story. I don't know, Mo, if you're familiar with this, but let me play my CDT beats in the background. But there's this girl, y'all can look her up. Her name was Kamisha Block, and she was having a relationship with one of her, I don't know if it would be like a sergeant, I don't know, like someone ahead of her in ranking, right? And that's frowned upon in the military. You're not allowed to do that. And they got deployed to Iraq. Well, the relationship was getting toxic, and they were out looking for what do you call them? IEDs. They were out looking for IEDs, and he was distracted. Like, he made her stay behind because he thought, like, she was having relationships with other people, I guess. Just very controlling. And he made her stay behind. But even though he made her stay behind, he was so distracted. He was, like, on the phone trying to, like, communicate with her. And he almost got the troops blown up. And, it was just getting so bad. It got to the point where one of the guys knew this affair was going on, and he reported it. Guess what they did when he reported it? Instead of separating them two, they took the friend that reported it to another platoon. So they removed him, the guy that was reporting this affair. They removed him. That's insane to me. And it blows my mind because of what ended up happening. The guy, they were in, like, the bunks, I guess, together or something like that. He brought her into one of his quarters, and he did a self-deletion. He deleted her and then deleted himself. And they covered that up, similar to Pat Tillman's story. They burned the, like, letters, they burned the evidence, all of that. It's crazy to me to think that this happened, and no one would know about it, I think, if someone didn't speak out about it. That friend, he's the one that spoke out about this. Like, I feel like he's the reason why we know the little bit that we do know. But they just said they ruled it as friendly fire. They ruled that as friendly fire. It's crazy to me. But yeah, Mo, you should look into that Kamisha Block story. I'll send it to you. But that's one of them, and even with my uncle, I talked about my great uncle before, the one who died in Vietnam. I was so fascinated. As soon as I learned that I had a great uncle that served in the military, I was always into social studies, loved U.S. war history. I was always into that. And as soon as I learned that I had a relative who died in Vietnam, that just heightened my fascination. And I just was searching everything, like trying to get any piece of information about, like, his time in the military. And whenever I was digging, whenever the internet was putting more information out, it said that he died by friendly fire. He didn't die by friendly fire. Like, I found out from I got to meet the people that he served with, some of them, not all of them, but they said, like, he was the first one off the chopper, and he took a lot of fire, and he was blocking shots that could have, killed his other, fellow troops. And yeah, so that's how he ended up dying. But they listed that as friendly fire. Like, what the heck? Why? Like, that was crazy to me. Like, I went back to check on it. I think it did change, but they had that listed as friendly fire. And they gave 2 different locations of where he passed away at in Vietnam too. So I didn't really have any answers up until I met the people that he served with. I really didn't have any answers. Yeah. And I wouldn't have even known that. For the longest time, Mo, I thought he died by friendly fire. I thought it was some freak accident, and I thought he died. That's what I grew up thinking for the longest time, up until, like, my senior year of high school. Because my senior year of high school is when I got to meet the people he served with, because his, I don't know what you would call it, but the person that was ahead of him in ranking, the leader, platoon leader, I don't know what you call him in ranking, but he made a foundation, like a scholarship foundation, in my uncle's name. And so relatives can get that scholarship, which I was a relative and I got the scholarship, and they have it for certain students who submit, like, a writing article at the school that he attended, the elementary school he attended. So those are the people that can, qualify for this scholarship. And that's when I got to meet all the ones he served with and get, like, the answers, like the long awaited answers that I, like, long for, like, y'all, whenever I went to Washington, D.C., y'all, I love going to the wall and seeing his name on there. Like, there's nothing like it. Like, I know there's a lot of flaws with the military that I get very furious about, but I also don't want to take away from those who sacrifice, like my uncle. And like, there's just so many thoughts that I have about it, just because you want to honor them, but you also want to reveal the flaws that go on in the military. But there's just something special about it. Like, I just can't even explain, like, the feeling that I got. Like, I remember the first time I was told about having a family member who died in Vietnam, and then just like finally learning about how he died. Like, it's just things like that. It's special. It's like special moments, like, in my life that I really made an impact on me. Yeah, you can honor and still hold them accountable. Yeah, that's well said, Mo. That's right. And it's just like these stories with Pat Tillman. Like, the fact that Pat Tillman could have made a ton of money, went from making tons of money in the NFL to sacrificing his life, and who knows what he was getting paid in the military, right? Like, who knows what that pay was like, what the military pay was like. But him and his brother both. You know, whenever I heard this story, I thought about Saving Private Ryan. If y'all are not familiar with the movie Saving Private Ryan, it's about this troop that dedicates their time to finding this one man whose brothers all died. He was the only one who was going to make it out. And that's a great movie. I love Saving Private Ryan. But that's kind of what this reminded me of. It's like, imagine if, you know, both of them had been taken out. I'm glad at least, you know, one of them survived, right? So he could live to tell about the flaws that went on with this in the military. But it's things like that just I can't even wrap my head around how you do that to somebody's family. Like, how do you keep that information from them, and how do you, like, what's the reason behind lying about it? Like, I just can't wrap my head around it. I don't understand the process. It's like, is it like a financial thing? Like, they don't want to pay these families? Is it a situation of, like, I have heard some cases where they don't want it to reflect on the military. They don't want it to draw away people from signing up for the military. I've heard that theory. But I can't comprehend, like, why not just tell the truth of what happened? But anyways, I'm glad that, like, Aaron Rodgers, like, brought this up. I'm glad that you said, okay, I was waiting for you to say, like, which one, because I know, Mo, you have experience with this. You said all the above. All the above. Yeah, that's crazy to think about. That's some dirty work, like, dirty business. Like I said, I talked about it earlier, but you know, saying that the NFL, like, the athletic, different athletic departments and all of that, it's like a dirty business. And the same is for the military. It's a dirty business, and I don't understand. I just can't, my mind can't process. You know, not everybody wants to do the right thing, and it's sad. It's really sad to me, because I feel like they're paying the ultimate sacrifice, right? They're sacrificing time away from family. They're sacrificing being in another country, and sacrificing taking a pay cut, or, you know, whatever the case may be, or just could be wanting to have a better life, right? Because there are those that join the military who just want to join to improve their life, because that's what the military can give them. So it's like people who make sacrifices like that to be a part of something that's just going to like have like a scandal, like a cover up. It's just, it's shocking, difficult to process. Like there's just so many like emotions that I feel towards it. Like my mind can't even comprehend it, like all the different things that go on. It's like my brain right now, my brain just talking about it is just like in a million different areas. Like I feel like I have 1,000 tabs open just trying to talk about this. But it's an amazing story with the Pat Tillman. I encourage everyone to read about it and look into the Kamisha Block story as well. Mo, I'm gonna send you that one. If you don't know about that story, I'll send it to you, because it was like on a crime show or something, and I don't like crime shows, y'all, but I just happened to see this one because it was military. Like I said, anything, like I love military movies and military shows because it gives me like a connection to like my great uncle who passed away in Vietnam. And this is why I guess I was interested in it. I don't normally watch crime shows, but this episode was about someone in the military. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna watch this. And then my mind was blew, it blew my mind, like what went on. But that's gonna be it, I think, for this live. I covered everything that I wanted to talk about. Opened up with the motivational video. Showed you all your drops and did the national anthem. And let's see. I talked about the Spurs losing. Y'all, I just can't. I can't. I don't want Stephen A to be happy about the Knicks. That's the only reason why I don't want the Knicks to win. But here we are. And we talked about Russell Wilson, Trevon Diggs, then the 10 tragic NFL deaths, and obviously Pat Tillman as well. Oh man, Derek, you got to get it through your thick head that we was never together. Oh man. All right. Let's close out with a motivational video, y'all.
Outcomes are a distraction. Focusing on the process of what you have to do to get the outcome is the most important thing you need to do.
All right, that's the motivational video. You said baseball. You know, I did hear that Aaron Judd was out and he's not likely to return until August. That was the last thing with baseball that I heard. I haven't checked on anything else. I need to, but yeah. Derek, if you have baseball, you know what, Derek, you've sent me a lot of football content, but Derek, send me some baseball content that you want me to talk about and react to, because I'll cover it, because like I said, I need to get more active with the baseball again. But yeah, the only thing that I heard recently was about Aaron Judd being out because of, I don't know if they said shoulder. I don't know the specific injury, but I just know that he's likely to be out till August. Yeah, I know you like the Cincinnati Reds. Send me some Cincinnati Reds content if you find it. Like, you know, you can send me I like the ones that you send me, like, the 10 best, it could be the 10 best Cincinnati Reds players, or the most remarkable stories from like the Cincinnati Reds, something like that. I love when you send me like content like that. So if you find a video like that, I'll do a reaction to it. Oh yeah, thanks for showing up, you guys. I always appreciate the touchdown tribe, y'all. Couldn't function without you, I'm telling you. It ain't easy. It ain't easy doing this. So, having y'all in the chat, supporting me and everything, that really truly means a lot, because y'all are taking your time, you're investing your time to listen to me talk. And that's special to me. The All-Star game is in July. Okay. Alright, sounds good. But let's get out of here, Touchdown Tribe. I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.